Hi, I'm Mark Furman. I'm a partner at Tarlow Breed Hart and Rogers. We're thrilled to be hosting On the Record. We represent business owners and love to hear from business owners about what's going on with their business. We also enjoy interviewing their advisors to help us represent our clients effectively.
Perfect. Well, the mics are back on, and this is Radio Entrepreneurs. My name is Jeffrey Davis, and we are at the law firm of Tarlow Breed Hart and Rogers. My co-host is Mark Furman, and that means this is On the Record. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Jeffrey. Looking forward to our next guest.
Thank you very much. Well, I don't know if she could be as entertaining as she was before the mics were on.
Well, I think I probably can be.
Oh boy, we're in for a ride. And that means we're talking to Patty Barbalunga. Barbalunga, sorry.
It's okay.
Attorney at Patricia A. Barbalunga Law. I got it right the second time.
Actually, I am a lawyer. I practiced law for 22 years with a law firm, became a partner, was the president of the Massachusetts Defense Lawyers Association and Massachusetts Defense Lawyer of the Year in 2002. So now I have my own arbitration mediation business, and that's all I do.
Wow. Tell us more about all you do.
Okay. Very unusual background. University of Illinois, 1971. University of Southern California, 73. Physical education, undergraduate, and psychology. Master's degree in education. Went to Taipei, Taiwan. Taught at Taipei American School, dance and gymnastics. Got a doctoral teaching fellowship to come back to Springfield College. Got my doctorate there in 77. Took a job as assistant professor at Western New England College School of Law. Taught there, coached 2 women's sports. Went to law school on a tuition remission. Graduated in 3 years, studying, teaching, and coaching. Went to a law firm of Moriarty, Donahue, and Legia in Springfield, which basically at that time was an insurance defense firm, although we did both plaintiff and defense work. And stayed there until everybody died. I'm the last man standing. That's it. So in 2002, it pretty much was all over. They were older gentlemen.
Okay, and so you decided to get into mediation and arbitration?
I have been doing this since 1985 with the American Arbitration Association while I was practicing law.
Okay.
And I went through
So you might have
commercial
been
arbitration.
You weren't on any panel that I...
Oh, sure
on a case
I
have, but you were
was.
probably one of the...
Oh, I'm one of everything.
I probably read your bio
Oh,
many
you probably
times.
did. Now, I was National Arbitration and Mediation, American Arbitration and Mediation, case closed. I do it for the Bar Association, and then also work for myself.
What kind of cases do you mediate and arbitrate?
Almost exclusively personal injury, although a lot of some construction failures, believe it or not, because my husband's family had a contracting business, general contracting business, so I was the president of Barbalunga Inc., and we spec'd houses for a period of time. So I really almost only do personal injury. I would say 95% of my work is personal injury. But then I also do discrimination, employment law, construction failures.
Okay. And where do you, where's your office?
I have a home office in my home in Pittsfield, which is Eagle's Nest.
Okay.
People usually would like to either come there or use their own offices in Pittsfield. My husband was a district court judge in Pittsfield, so I would never practice in that area.
Sure.
So my firm and all of my contacts are in the Springfield area. So in Springfield, I use either Philbin and Associates, Accurate Court Reporting, Catuno, one of those places, just for the day.
Okay.
In Worcester, usually somebody's law firm. Boston, somebody's law firm.
But you do mediate cases in Boston?
Oh, I do. I do.
Personal injury.
Yes.
Talk to us about personal injury, because that's a
Okay, well,
that's
let
a
me-
field I think some people, it's an important field, but some people might take advantage of it.
No, not really anymore. The thing about it is, and the reason why people pick me, I think, and haven't gotten sick of me yet after all these years, I feel like I'm fair because I know what pain is and I know what pain isn't. In other words, I'm a pseudo athlete. I've ridden my bike 500 miles across Iowa many times, and in so doing, when you do play sports, you rip out your rotator cuffs, you have ACL injuries. So I have had all of those things, and I know how long it takes to get over something. And somebody sees, and they have a friend, oh, my friend got $1 million. Well, you know what? It's not worth $1 million. And I feel like I know what it's worth. People overvalue their injuries. They forget that they might be old. In other words, I know I look young. I feel young. I'm going to be 70 in a couple of weeks. But when you're old, things happen. You never get over anything. Injuries you've had when you're young, they stay with you, they just get bigger. So you just have to really forget about it. And people that have an accident and they go, oh my God, now I'm hurt, I felt great before, and now I can't even walk. That's not true. It's just not true.
So having the insurance defense background must give you a, shall we call it a healthy, skeptical eye?
Absolutely.
And then, did you do some plaintiff's work as well?
Oh, I did everything.
So you've seen it from both sides?
I've seen it from both sides. And when I write decisions, I write long decisions, I want to try to protect people because I know the most important job a person can have is to keep their job. And I know the defense lawyers have somebody to answer to. And I know if I make a big award for the plaintiff, I have to really say why I made it so that person will not take it out on their attorney, even though they have a reserve on the file that might be over it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what's the breakdown between mediation and arbitration?
Arbitration is facts final. It's very serious business because there's no appeal.
You're acting as a judge.
You are a
except
judge.
there's no right of appeal, so you have greater power than a judge.
Absolutely. All the power, which means both sides really have to trust you and agree with you, as in mediation too. But mediation, I say, you got a good case, roll the dice. You got a bad case, you might want to try mediation because you can get more information. But I always try to tell people a successful mediation means you will be unhappy. The plaintiff will never get what they want. The defense will pay way more than they want. And it's never halfway in between. It's a process. And what you have to do is get the people to appreciate the danger of a trial. Because unlike a mediation where you can really say anything, a trial, you can't tell what's going to come out of your mouth. You can find perspiration under an angel's wing. You can find a lot of stuff that can just make your case go down the drain. So when I have people say, tell me your best case. How do you think you're going to prove this case? Some people have no idea who they want to put on, how they're going to do it. And then when we get in private sessions, you can really tell them, this is risk assessment. I want you to appreciate the danger of going forward. And being short, I can sense fear. And so I really can find, I believe I can. I've been very successful in finding weaknesses in people's cases. And I can say things to the clients that their lawyers would never be able to say to them. Like yesterday, I had these two beautiful people. One looks like Jodie Foster, the other one looks like a young Don Sutherland's son. And I said, who do you think's going to feel sorry for you? if you go to trial, what do you think you're going to look like? Their lawyer can't really say that. Or, gee, I'm listening to you. You know, you did a terrible job on this. I know you were just trying to be kind, but now look where you're at. And that's how you have to talk to people. And a lot of times, lawyers can't talk to their clients that way because they're too invested in the case.
Yeah, so our audience are business owners, and I think mediation and arbitration are both very important things for business owners to understand the differences and the process. I'm a business litigation attorney and mediate a lot of cases. Usually the contract defines whether or not we'll be in court or in arbitration, but I'm a great believer in mediation for the
business
reasons.
loss. What's the loss? You got to be able to prove what you lost.
Right.
And people say, oh, I made this much money. Well, guess what? Now it's a different season. What did you make last year this season? What did you make 10 years ago? There's always a pattern, and people really naturally try to puff up their cases. But the value of what you lost is what it's all about.
But I think a good mediator can be very effective in communicating reality to
True.
clients
True.
in a way that they may be more willing to hear, even for those of us who are willing to tell clients things they don't want to hear. It just may have a little more credibility for someone who's independent.
And I always say, I don't care if you get a nickel. I don't care if you get $1 million. My only interest is in settling this case, period. And a lot of people think, oh, I want $500,000. Where'd you get that from? They're not realistic. So I try to interject reality into.
Well, 31 years ago, I got hit by two 18-wheelers on the Mass Pike that blew up after they hit me. I was the main car hit. They closed down the Mass Pike for 2.5 hours. I refused. I was the only person who refused to go to the hospital. But Mark Furman won me a settlement, even though I went to the hospital over a week afterward. Wasn't the largest settlement in the world because he called me a knucklehead for not going to the
Well,
hospital.
it looks like
right
you
away.
are a knucklehead, but he's also a wonderful lawyer.
He is a wonderful lawyer, I would say
And
that.
you're still, were you a lot taller before that accident? Sorry.
I will say, the only thing I disagree with is because of the different ailments I have, I've actually had pain go away after many years of proper therapy in different situations. So if you really stick with it, and I'm athletic as well, I have found that if I really stay consistently working on my physical therapy, my body can adjust, and I've actually eliminated pain after years of pain.
It's true. It's true. I had a rape client once. She was raped. Old lady raped. Go figure that. She couldn't see. I bring the settlement papers for her to sign. She doesn't need her glasses. What's the matter with you? Where are your glasses, Etta? You know what? Ever since that rape, I can see perfect.
Please.
This is not a joke.
Patty, if someone's looking for you with or without glasses, how would they find you?
Google me.
Okay.
You can Google me. I have a website, but you do Patty Barbalunga, Patricia Barbalunga, blah, 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 pbarbalunga.com. You just have to, I'll be on the street with a cup.
Great.
Just put a quarter in, you'll find me.
Well, you're going to have to come back again. You're the least boring attorney we've had on the show. Again, let's remind everybody, we are at a law firm, Tarlow, Breed, Hart & Rogers. My co-host was Mark Furman, who had all those wonderful questions, took me off the hook. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after these